Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 7 of a 21-day journey together. Sorry, I was muted there. We're very happy to see you again tonight. So many of you connected, probably some of you connecting also for the first time tonight. I had the immense pleasure to be your host on day 4. I'm so happy to be back with you guys tonight for a beautiful program. My name is Malik. I'm currently in Miami, but usually I'm based in Paris, in France, but very happy to be in your beautiful country of America. My wife is American and we're visiting some my family here, my in-laws. So just real quick, guys, before we start, make sure that you get your foot soak ready if you haven't yet. So most of you have experienced foot soaking for the first time yesterday. And from now on, every night, we want to have this foot soaking that we will do together because this is very effective if we do it regularly. And I think we'll all experience some really wonderful benefits as we deepen our meditation experience during those 21 days. So guys, go get your foot soak now if you haven't done yet. If you haven't done so yet. So if you are new tonight, you can get a review of what we have covered. We have all the recordings of the 21 days on our website, so go check those and you can get back to it anytime. And at the end of today's program, you can also send a message in the Zoom chat to Breakout Room Help. We have a wonderful, incredible team here. There's plenty of people behind the screen ready to help you, ready to answer your questions. So really take full advantage of that. And at the end of the session, write to Breakout Room Help and get into a one-to-one. So yesterday we've learned and used the natural elements. We've talked about the fire element, the earth, the water, the air, and we also have been foot soaking together. And so today we will go deeper into using those elements, but also into feeling our chakras inside, into decoding what these sensations are supposed to tell us. And that's the whole beauty of meditation is now we can really deeply know ourselves thanks to the vibration. So we'll go deeper into that, into understanding how do we clear our chakras and how we can use a bandhan, which is one of the techniques that we'll go through tonight to see how we can clear those chakras. So again, same kind of program tonight, guys. We'll have 2 presenters. We'll have 2 guided meditations. We'll also have a video of Shri Mataji to go more in depth into the topic of today. Shri Mataji is the founder of Sahaja. Again, she has done tons of lectures to really explain to us how this wonderful machinery we have inside works and how we can really use it and make a wonderful difference in our lives. The program is about an hour, but it might last a little longer if you stay with us for the Q&A. We have lots of beautiful people also here to answer a Q&A live with everyone. So if you want to go on a one-to-one, you can. And if you want to stay with us for the Q&A, please do. So I have a wonderful team I want to introduce to you guys tonight. Maybe I will start with Tracy from South Florida. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Hi, very well tonight. Thank you, Malik. Wonderful to be here. I live, like Malik said, in South Florida and just a hop, skip, and a jump from where he is staying. And it's just a wonderful opportunity for me to be here with all of you tonight. Looking forward to meditating together.
Thank you, Tracy. We're so happy to have you. We also have Wendy joining us tonight.
Hi, Malik. So great to be here. I'm from the great city of Los Angeles, all the way in California. I am a survivor of childhood trauma. When I came to Sahaja Yoga, it was a great healing for me. So I tend to work with survivors of trauma, if anyone has any of those issues.
Thank you, Wendy. And we also have Igor, who will be playing Bansuri for us tonight, which is Indian flute. He studied 8 years with Shaktidhar, a great master. And so we'll be very lucky to hear his beautiful music tonight. How Igor? How are you?
Hi Malik, hi everyone. It's my name is Igor. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and it will be a great pleasure to thank you for inviting, and it would be a great pleasure to meditate together with such a wonderful team and such a big group of people, of over 250, 60 people. So it's great joy.
Thank you so much, Igor. Thank you. Well, I guess without further ado, we will start with Wendy.
Hi, welcome everyone. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be here. I've been coming to the class all since the beginning all week, and there have been such amazing vibrations and so much feelings of joy. And the question might be, why are there so much vibrations? Why are there so much vibrations? And that is because when we get our self-realization, it's very auspicious. And there's a lot of vibrations released. So why are there so many vibrations released? Because we are going through a shift in our awareness. So meditation isn't actually not something you sit down just to do. It's a state of awareness. It's a beautiful state of awareness that brings you into peace, that brings you into the silence and into the joy. And we've always been doing most of the time a lot of activities and a lot of thinking. So we're shifting from being very much involved with thinking and planning, or maybe even with our emotions a lot. And we're shifting from that over to being aware of the vibrations and being in the center, being in the present moment. And instead of leading from our mind or our thoughts, we're leading from our hearts, which is, I must say, a lovely thing indeed. So you might be asking, well, some of you might be asking, like, why don't I feel the vibrations? Because some people, actually most people at the very beginning, takes a little bit of time to feel the vibrations, for our awareness to become sensitive. And there's different ways that we can feel the vibrations. We can feel the vibrations in our hands. We went over that we can actually feel our chakras in our fingertips and in our hands. And this is an incredible thing. It's tangible. It's like this table in front of me. I can touch it. I know it's real. Well, this is just as tangible that you know your energy centers and your channels and your Kundalini are real because you can feel it, which is incredible. So another way if our hands aren't so sensitive, another way we sometimes feel the vibrations are actually in our body, in our chakras. Sometimes you'll feel a cool inside, or you'll feel a heaviness, or you'll feel a tightness in your body, and that is a chakra. And also we have the feeling of vibrations in our awareness, and all of us can feel that. So if we aren't feeling vibrations in our body or vibrations in our hands yet, we can feel it in our awareness or our attention. And that's the most important thing. Do we feel at peace? Are we experiencing the joy? Is it amazing? And that's what we hang on to, those feelings, those times where we touch it. And Shri Mataji said that you don't really have to go thoughtless for very, very long periods of time. Even a few minutes is like a revolution. It relaxes your subtle system. It soothes you on the deepest levels. So you don't have to set mighty goals. If you can get to the point where you touch it every day, you're doing amazing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and have our second night of foot soaking. I'm just going to introduce it again a little bit in case some of you weren't here. Mark's going to show the foot soak bucket. And what we do is we get a bucket and we put water, it can be warm water, and a handful of salt. And what we're doing is we're like recreating the ocean in a foot soak bucket, because the ocean's very powerful, because it has the water element and it's also got the earth element, and it pulls everything out. So we'll put the foot soak shot of that bucket back on. So you also need to have a water. Some people have a cup. I like to cover mine because I'm really klutzy and I kick it over. And then you're going to want a towel, and paper towels are great. So when we start, we can first let's go back to the main shot, and we'll go ahead and we'll raise our kundalinis and give ourselves a bandhan. this has been explained to you a number of times. The nice thing that we can do when we're doing this is just see if we can feel the Kundalini rising within us as our hand moves up. We can feel that energy moving up in our spine. And the last time we're tying it up real well with 3 knots. And now we'll go back to our shot of the foot soak bucket. So what we can do at the beginning is we can hold our hands over the foot soak bucket. It's that simple. Because with our hands, we can give vibrations to food or to anything that we hold our hands above when their cool vibrations fly. So we just hold our hands above the bucket until we can feel the vibrations go cool. And when we do feel that, then we can go ahead and put our feet in the bucket. No one gets to see my feet. You're very honored. I hide them and wear sandals. So now we'll go back out to our main shot. Hopefully everyone's clear on how to do your foot soak now. What we're going to do is we're going to have a foot soak meditation where we focus on feeling the vibrations. And also a few kind of simple tips for how to go deeper and how to help ourselves go quiet a little bit more easily. Most of us will close our eyes. If you're someone who falls asleep, absolutely conks out, you can keep your eyes open and have a nice bright light in the room. Otherwise, it's helpful to take our glasses off and close our eyes, because when we close our eyes, automatically we start bringing our attention. It's much easier to bring our attention inside. When we're looking outside, our attention is often outside. So now let's take our right hand and put it on the center of our chest. And this helps. This helps in several ways. It helps bring our attention or focus, where we're focusing, to the center heart chakra. Because with our hand there, we can put our awareness just within our body, below our hand. And this is very soothing. There are vibrations coming through our hand that help the chakra, which is nice. So let's go ahead and bring our awareness into that center heart chakra. And if your attention gets pulled away, you're learning how to do this. You're training your attention, so you just very gently bring it back. No worries. So now, as we keep our hand here, let's go ahead and take 3 nice, deep, cleansing breaths. And we're going to breathe in nice and deeply and slowly. We're going to hold our breath for a few seconds, and then we're going to exhale. And as we breathe out, we're going to let all the tension in our body and all the stress that we've had throughout the day, we're going to breathe it out of our body. So let's go ahead and do that together. We'll do this 3 times. We'll just keep our hand here if it's comfortable for our cleansing breaths. We're keeping our eyes closed, and now we'll just breathe normally, and we'll just have a very gentle focus. We never need to concentrate really hard. We just want to have a very gentle focus on our breath as we breathe normally in and out. We're just watching the air coming in and out of our lungs. And when we feel ready, we'll just take our right hand down and continue keeping our awareness there on our breath. And maybe we're feeling that our center heart is a little tight. That's very normal in America. The center heart tends to be tight. So we don't have to take it personally. It's a collective catch. So what we do is we just say an affirmation quietly to ourselves. And we just ask, Mother Kundalini, please make me brave. Let's say that 3 times to ourselves quietly. Just relax our bodies, our shoulders. Everywhere we're holding tension, just allow ourselves to just breathe the tension out with the breath. Now let's take our focus and see what we're feeling in our hands. They're in our lap, palm up. We could be feeling cool vibrations. Sometimes there's heat being released when the chakra's clearing. Sometimes, especially at the very beginning, our hands are just waking up and we feel a tingling feeling, just like when our leg falls asleep and it tingles when it's waking up, kind of like that. Or we might feel little pinpricks in the tips of our fingers. It's not important. What's important is that we're watching. The power is in the watching. And we just step back a little distance from it. We watch everything that's happening inside ourselves as if we're sitting in a theater in the seats, watching whatever we're feeling physically, whatever thoughts we're having or emotions. We're just watching them like they're the movie up on the screen, and we've got a little distance. Now let's go ahead and bring our attention to the top of our head. What we can do is see if we can raise a little bit more of the Kundalini energy before we have our meditation. And we'll just take the right hand in front of our spinal column, in front of the central channel, and we'll just raise the energy with that right hand up and see if we can keep our attention in our spine where the hand is as it rises. And as we get to the top, we'll take our palm of our hand and just press a little bit down on the top of the head where the Kundalini comes out from. So let's do this 2 more times. Pressing down, just gently. And then one last time. We raise it up. We put the palm of our hand on the top of our head, and then we'll just raise our hand up 4 or 5 inches above the top of our head. And very gently, without an intense concentration, but very gently, we'll focus our awareness between the top of our head and our hand at the Sahasrara chakra. When we feel ready, we feel our attention's firmly there. Let's take our right hand down and keep our awareness on top of the head. And we're going to sit and have some quiet meditation. If we have a thought come, we can just watch it. Just watch it from a distance. Let it go by. If we have a feeling rise, and we just watch it rise and fall. And if there's any physical discomfort, we just watch that. So now we're just going to take a moment to give a little bit of TLC and vibrations to our Vishuddhi chakra in the throat. We can take the palm of our hand and put it over our throat in front of where we swallow. And let's just use our desire power. Desire works very well to clear a chakra. Let's just desire to feel our connection. This is where we feel our connection to other people through and to a power greater than ourselves, to the divine. So let's just put our awareness there in the throat and just desire to feel our connection, to feel vibrations. You can even relax your throat where you swallow and your jaw and all the muscles on your face. We can put our hand down. We'll just put our attention very gently in our throat where we swallow. We may be able to feel vibrations flowing through parts of the chakra. We may feel it tight, but that's also an awareness that's very powerful. We're just going to see, how does our Vishuddhi chakra feel? Does my throat feel relaxed? Are my shoulders relaxed? Because when our Vishuddhi is relaxed, the vibrations will flow into our hands and will be more sensitive. So if you don't feel vibrations at the moment in your hands, this is the thing to do, to give some love and attention to your Vishuddhi chakra. So now, let's come to the surface and open our eyes, and we're going to rinse our feet off and dry our feet, and then we're going to put the foot soak aside until later after the program, and we can flush it down the toilet later, because it's got vibrational negativity in it, so we just want to flush it down the toilet. And now we just push that foot soak to the side, and it's really nice. This is a beautiful part of the program. This is when we get to hear a lecture by Shri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga. And she's so wise and so helpful, and she gives us tips on what we can do to go deeper. So the best thing to do is to watch with your eyes open, but also try to keep your attention gently at the top of your head and take it in.
But with this power, you become so much full of compassion. Then your attention goes from you to others. What you can do for others, how can you give them realization? And suddenly you discover that around you is so many destructive forces, so many disturbing forces, so many problems. Suddenly you find they disappear. If you can transform human being, but it's no question of transformation, I would say it is the question of evolutionary process. And when this takes place, you find you are transformed completely. And thousands have to be transformed. Thousands and thousands and millions. But somehow, America has a different type of approach to spirituality. They think if I don't take money, then something wrong with me. I must accept money. And they have told me so many things. Some experts came and told me, explain to me all the economics and all that which I don't understand. And they think that it should be sellable. Can't understand, it's a kind of a thing. How much will you pay for Christ? How much will you pay for any saintly personality? Because its value cannot be judged. It's invaluable. Something that's the most invaluable for you is to know yourself. If you have not known yourself, you are still going round and round and round in the mad rush of thinking. Even Einstein, you'll be surprised, has talked about it, that he was trying to find the theory of relativity, and just he couldn't find it. So he went into his garden and was playing with the soap bubbles, and suddenly from somewhere unknown, that's what he said, the theory of relativity dawned upon him. And he called that unknown area, he called them by a name, you see. And that name is rather, to me, not so precise. But he says there is an area which you can exploit, by which you can understand for the future generation, for the future scientist, where you get the ideas from there. And he said for that you must have a kind of a personality that can perceive that torsion area from where the ideas are coming. If he can enter into that area, you can get the full idea as to what is reality. He calls it cognitive. He says this is cognitive science. And such a person can tell you so many things which, when you put it to the scientific test, you will find is absolutely correct. And this is what happened to him, because himself was a realized soul. And many people like Newton himself was a realized soul. Abraham Lincoln was a realized soul. But they could not tell about it to others because nobody would believe, and anybody tried to tell anything, they just used to torture them. Every saint, real saint has been tortured. Every Sufi has been tortured. In our country especially, many saints have been very badly treated. Also in other countries. Why? Because they are only one, and maybe people were jealous that how could they know so much, how could they talk about so many things. Now, with all this, now only thing, if I have done anything, is very simple, that I thought no use giving these realization to one or two persons, which was the tradition, to give to only one to one. But now I felt it won't work out. We have to have it for the masses. And what I did was to find out a method by which I can give a mass realization. That's all. Which is a simple thing. And that is working, and it worked very well. As I said, in America, they just think of, this is another achievement of human beings, that they know about money. So, money, everything money. So they can't understand even spirituality without money. But in a place like, say, we can say Russia. Russian people had no freedom as you have. And they had oppression from all sides in their, as you know, the whole thing was a communistic country. And in that communism, they were completely oppressed. So as a result, they went inside themselves and tried to find out solutions inside. So when they saw me, just seeing me, I don't know how, thousands of them came. Now we are thousands and thousands and thousands of people in Russia alone, also in some countries. When I see here, I'm just thinking in Russia we cannot put it in a hall, we have to have a big tent or Olympics where they had some sort of a thing like that. So the trouble is, we should give up this idea that I can find it for myself. This is very, very common. You cannot. This is the only evolution in which you have to get it from an enlightened person. You have to humble on this point, that I can't get it on my own. I can find my own way. You cannot. You'll be lost. You have to have somebody who is already enlightened. Now, how to get an enlightened person also? How to know? Because after realization, you know the absolute truth. On your fingertips, you can feel the centers of other person. If something is fishy, you can feel it. If somebody is cheating you, you can feel it. Everything. Your fingers speak. This is what Muhammad Sahib has said. At the time of resurrection, your hands will speak clearly. How can hands speak? This is how, because all these 5 fingers are the centers, 6th and 7th center.
So let us all remain in meditation. Keep our eyes closed and absorb the talk of Shri Mataji, bringing our attention inside, in our heart, or on top of our head, and just to remain in this silence.
Thank you, Igor.
Thank you so much.
After enjoying a beautiful foot soak led by Wendy and an enlightening speech by Shri Mataji and that exquisite flute music, let's now continue on this journey this evening in feeling the experience of these vibrations that we've been talking about. So we can close our eyes and we can meditate on asking, what are these vibrations? These vibrations that we get connected to. As our Mother Kundalini rises, even a single strand, and very quickly more and more, that pierce our fontanelle bone on the top of our head, we get connected to this all-pervading divine power, the vibrations that we're speaking about. In Sanskrit, they're called Param Chaitanya. Chaitanya is the divine grace. And this is the all-pervading power that is responsible for every aspect of this creation. So let's take both hands now at the base of our spine, in the front of our body, close to our torso, right in front of our sacrum bone, wherein a powerful force, our Kundalini, our mothering energy resides. And hold our hands there. And even though I had trouble feeling the cool breeze in my hands for a long time after getting my self-realization, one of the strongest ways in which I could feel it was here, in front of my sacrum bone. When we bring our hands here, our mother energy understands our desire to experience the subtle, spiritual vibration power within us. We can let our attention rest as close as we can come to our sacrum bone, or put our attention in the palms of our hands. She is called the cool breeze, the cool breath, the cool wind. With our palms facing up, let's slowly lift up our hands, lifting up more of our mother energy. Through our entire torso, neck, head, and above our head, extending our hands up high, letting the palms face each other and the fingers pointing to the sky. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the vibrations, this divine grace, the Param Chaitanya, down our left and right channel. So what we'll do is we'll put our left hand over the right side of our head. Our hands are crossed. You can open your eyes to see. And our right hand is facing the left side of our head. We are going to uncross our hands in the front of our forehead and bring our hands down the left and the right channel. As we bring these cool, soothing, cleansing vibrations down our left and right side. And let's do it again. Extend the hands, the arms fully. The palms are facing each other, and see what we feel in the space between our hands. Let the attention be there. And now let's bring this divine grace, crossing our arms, uncrossing them in front of our forehead, and bring these soothing vibrations down our left and right channel, pushing all of the impurities out as the cool vibrations come in. And again, one more time. The attention rises with our hands and rests between our palms. And now let's bring this cool grace down the left and the right channel. To the Mother Earth. So now let's bring our hands with the palms facing up, open in front of our chest. Let the attention rest on top of the head. See if we feel any different. Lighter, steadier, more balanced. Maybe we feel the flow of this energy a little stronger. Let the attention rise to the top of the head and above. We can relax our hands back on our lap. So we're going to learn something new now. Let's open our eyes and bring our hand onto our heart. As Wendy instructed us, and many other presenters have as well during the past week. We can do this to nourish, calm, and even clear a chakra. We can also use the bandhan similarly to when we put ourselves in bandhan before and after meditation. Bandhan means bond. It's a connection of our own energy system with this divine power, these vibrations. So what we can do, for example, if we ever feel a heaviness, a tingling, a heat in our fingertips or in any part of our hand, eventually we will begin to learn the locations in our body that correspond to our fingertips. So, for example, the heart is the pinky finger. And what we can do is we can move our hand in a circular clockwise manner around the center heart. And this is called giving the chakra a bandhan. We can give bandhan to any chakra. We're going clockwise, so it's to the left, down, to the right, and up. So our body is the clock. This would be 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So we're moving in a circular clockwise manner. And we're giving a bandhan to our heart. We can close our eyes as we do this and see if we can feel the vibrations. We can slow it down or we can speed it up. I'd like to share that giving a bandhan has two primary capacities. One is centrifugal. It can release impurities, blockages, imbalances from the chakra, but it also has a centripetal force, which brings vibrations into the chakra to nourish it, strengthen it, open it. So let's move up now to the Vishuddhi chakra, and we can take any impurities and offer it to the Mother Earth that are released by the centrifugal force of the bandhan. Sometimes when I'm giving a bandhan, I'll feel my finger that corresponds to it in my left hand that's on my lap and up facing up, I'll feel that finger begin to relax. So it's a good thing to experiment with if you're meditating at home. You may feel a tingling or heat or heaviness in a part of your hand, and then you can look at the chart, the subtle system, see where the chakra is that corresponds, give it a bandhan, and see if that tingling in the hand lightens up or maybe dissolves completely. Let's move up to the Agya chakra. Again, clockwise, vibrations. We're using the vibrations to clear and strengthen the energy center, the chakra, and release any impurities or heaviness or negativity or heat. So one last thing before we go to Sasrara. We can put our hand there. We can give a bandhan. We can move our hand a few inches away and see if we feel a coolness emanating from the chakra, or perhaps we feel heat. And that's another way we can feel the vibrations. You might say, oh, well, it's heat, it's not vibrations. The vibrations, when they flow along our nerves and our subtle system, they transmit this energy that we're speaking about when we give the bandhan. And we may feel the heat dissipate. And research has shown that when individuals practice Sahaja meditation, the galvanic skin response that is on top of their hands actually becomes cooler. The temperature drops. And that's as this cool breeze begins to flow, and the heat and the tingling, the heaviness begins to dissipate. So let's now finish by giving a bandhan in a clockwise manner to the top of our head, the Sahasrara chakra that contains all of the chakras. The Sahasrara has 1,000 nerves, 1,000 petals. And gradually, as we grow stronger collectively as a human race, more and more of the Sahasrara will become enlightened within all of us. It has to happen collectively now, this time. And we can take any impurities and offer it to Mother Earth. And let's do that 1 or 2 more times. Now let's place our hand on top of our head and slowly lift our hand up, close our eyes, and bring our attention here in the space between the top of our head and our hand. Leaving our attention there with our eyes closed, we can bring our hands back on our lap. Let the attention rest there for 1 more minute. See if we feel lighter inside. Perhaps we feel some movement of what we will come to recognize as our own inner energy, our Mother Kundalini. We may feel more joyful. And hopefully, gradually, moments of silence will extend for longer periods. So thank you so much for being here at this time, this evening. And I hope that you will experiment with this at home, enjoying the meditation and also using this vibratory awareness, this new language of communication with the divine power to better understand our own subtle system, and using the bandhan to nourish and cleanse the chakras. So if I felt the left nabi finger, which is the third middle finger, then I would give the vibrations on the left side of my abdomen. Or if I felt the right thumb, I would give it on the right side of my hip area. So we'll hopefully experiment a little more with that, perhaps if you have some time this weekend. And I turn it back over to you now, Malik.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. We want to really remain in that silence. It was really wonderful, and it's incredible to see how, combining the foot soak and the music and working on our chakras for just a few minutes can make such a huge difference inside. And we hope that you have really all felt this incredible transformation as we meditate like this together. So now the main thing is really to have that regularity and to really use these techniques, play with them, but just do it every day. If we do that every day, then we can really start to feel an incredible state that's gonna get established. So guys, before we finish, quickly about tomorrow. So again, have your foot soak ready. We'll try to foot soak every day now together for the remainder of this beautiful 21-day journey. Because again, this is going to have an incredible impact on the quality of a meditation and of course on our lives after that. And tomorrow we'll bring the focus to the right side. So the right channel within us is the energy we use when we act, when we work, when we think, when we plan. Anything we do and express goes through the right channel. So we'll learn how to cool it down because often it gets a bit heated up or out of balance. And for that, we'll use also the eyes. So you just saw the slide now. And this is something also that you can try to get ready by tomorrow. That would be wonderful. So if we can get that slide again, we usually use ice packs. Why do we use ice packs? Because the liver tends to overheat when we think a lot, when we work a lot, when we overuse a bit the right side. So the ice will actually cool down that liver, and then we'll realize as we do that we can get thoughtless, and it gets easier to get thoughtless basically and to go into meditation. So it's a kind of a vicious circle, because if we get, if we think too much, we heat up the liver. If we act too much, we heat up the liver, and then we can't stop thinking, and the thoughts increases as the liver heats up and everything. So that's a very simple technique that we'll be trying out tomorrow. So any ice pack in shape or form that you have, just like in that slide here, will work. The main thing is to make sure that you have something for tomorrow, some ice that we can use for that workshop. That's it. So that's for the program for tomorrow. Quick reminder for your foot soak. If you haven't got everything yet, please get a a bowl, some salt, a towel, everything needed to do your foot soak. And this is something, by the way, that you can use obviously every day after this 21-day program. Most of the people you've seen here foot soak every day because we really feel the benefit then in our meditation. Quick thing also, guys, we have a WhatsApp group. Please join the WhatsApp group. You can flash that QR code here. It will take you on our website. And if you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, please join it. You will have reminders to make sure that you can really give yourself the best chance to attend the entirety of the 21 days. Again, the benefit of this is to do it for 21 days and to really give ourselves that chance to meditate every day as we learn those different techniques. But to just sit together and meditate already is really powerful and will make a big difference. So join our WhatsApp group, and also you can get access to all the recordings on the website. You also have handouts, so everything that Tracy has been sharing with you today, that Wendy has been sharing. We have a lot of handouts that also explain how to use these techniques, how to locate the chakras, all these things. And you'll see it's fairly simple. You'll get the hang of it quite quickly. So that's it for where to find all our resources. This is, we could say, the formal end of this program, but please stay connected. We will have a Q&A session now. So there's two ways, again, of doing that. We have lots of people here in the breakout room. So you can either drop a line in breakout room help and then get into a one-to-one, or you can stay here and ask your questions directly in the Q&A, in the chat Q&A on Zoom. And we will try to answer some of those questions here together. Again, there's this wonderful program that's starting now with mentors. So you can get a mentor and have this really one-to-one relationship, and you can ask your questions where these mentors can, answer your questions and teach you also, most importantly, how to meditate and how to use it in your day-to-day life. So this is a wonderful opportunity.
We're a co-host, so it's allowing us to mess around with the...
Sorry, Wendy? Okay, you thought you were mute. No problem, it's fine, just family. And basically this mentorship program, again, it's all free. Sahaja Yoga is free. Shri Mataji never charged for it, like it was saying earlier. So please take full advantage of it. All right, and again, if you want to invite your friends, your family, please do so. This is the best gift, honestly, we can give and we can receive. All right, so I'll invite again all the beautiful team we had today: Tracy, Wendy, Igor, and maybe we can answer some of the questions that some of our attendees might have tonight. Okay, so in the meantime, waiting for the questions, it would be really lovely to hear a bit more about your experiences. Tracy, Wendy, and Igor, if you have, something you want to share about, how Sahaja Yoga affected you as you have journeyed through the different stages of your life. Because the beautiful thing is you meditate. Why do you meditate? Like, what does it do? What does it bring to your life? What are the transformations that come? That's what we want to really also touch upon to understand, why we meditate. Anybody wants to get started? Tracy, please.
So when I started with Sahaja meditation, I was 24, and I had very chronic, debilitating asthma throughout my life from my early childhood. And through this meditation, actually from the very first day, I learned that the chakra associated with asthma is the right heart. And so I started using the vibrations, giving the bandhan to the right heart chakra, and working with the various techniques that I was learning at the time. And it took a little time to see that the attacks that would come, that would land me in the hospital, ceased. Gradually, I was able to overcome having to take the medicine. I stopped having the asthma. it took quite a few years, I'd say almost 5 to 10 years, but that's one of the beautiful things about Sahaja Yoga is it empowers us to become better capable of maintaining, sustaining, nourishing our health and well-being. And it's been many, many years since I've had the breathing problems. And that's one way in which the bandhan that we used tonight was really invaluable in clearing and healing the chakra that was, it's not the only chakra that's involved with that health condition, but it's the main one. It's also the liver, so we'll learn the ice pack and the heat that would rise into the heart and cause the inflammation and the constriction. But I learned how to soothe it and nourish it and clear it, and slowly it went away.
This is incredible. It's incredible, and I think there's so many people that have experienced also healing different health issues with Sahaja, because you can finally go to the root of it, understand the vibrations, and just clear it out with the vibration. It's amazing. Wendy, we have a question specifically for you. Do you think trauma impacts the ability to establish self-realization?
No, thank God. I don't. I think you get your self-realization if your Kundalini is very strong and if you're a seeker of truth. And no matter if there have been some negative attacks on you in your life that have caused you a lot of suffering, they can't affect your Kundalini. It's in there. They can't take your spirit, and you can have this experience. And what ends up happening is people who've gone through trauma can come through this and be pretty mighty in meditation, and pretty mighty as Sahaja Yogis, I might say, which is what we call people who've been doing this for a long time.
Would you have any tips, Wendy, that worked for you? Because you said you went through that.
Yes. I'll tell you what my experience was. I think we should be grateful that you don't have to know. It's kind of like when I got pregnant and I realized, thank God I don't have to know how to make this baby. It's just this automatic process. And it's the same with healing and with the Kundalini. If you can get out of the way of the Kundalini, just make a little space in there, and your Kundalini will be very active. So what happened for me is I went on a long trip and I came back, and my roommate had started doing this meditation, and she thought she wasn't supposed to let me come back and live at my house. So I had a little bit of a problem with that. But she said, if you come to this meditation and you try it, then you can come back. So I went to the meditation, but I was more than a little irritated. So I went there and I was thinking to myself, there's no way I'm saying any of these affirmations. I might put my hand there, but I'm not, By the time we got to like the second chakra, I was feeling so much vibrations. It was like nuts. Like I couldn't explain it away. I couldn't pretend. But I also thought, okay, I want to do this on my own. Like I wasn't really an egotist, but I thought, this spiritual thing should be something, like you go off by yourself in the Himalayas or something and you achieve it. And so because I wasn't kind of willing to throw myself into it, my roommate didn't let me back in the house. So I went and rented a house for 2 months on my own. And I had these crazy experiences where my Kundalini would come up. And I think it was because my chakras were so severely damaged. I mean, I was special. I don't like to brag, but I was really damaged. The Kundalini would come up and come out the top of the head and go down over my face and go and work on the chakras. And I didn't tell you that I had a medical problem also, like not the same as Tracy, but I'd had an injury where I was a professional violinist, and I did nothing but practice 8 hours a day from the time I was like 9 years old. And I had achieved a lot. I was on the road too. I didn't like to be a soloist, but I was a chamber player, a quartet player, and I was already professional. And I walked by a construction site, and a beam fell on my shoulder on the back of my head and injured my left fasciitis here on the neck. gave me a nerve injury where I couldn't really open and close my hand fully. I couldn't touch my fingers together like I'm doing now. And I obviously couldn't play the violin. So about 2 months after this, that's kind of when my hand got fixed, is kind of when I went, okay, I got to do this Sahaja Yoga thing full time. I'm really into it. And what happened is that I ended up that year on India tour. I met Shri Mataji for the first time. She moved the whole center from San Francisco to New York to start a new center, new meditation center. She moved us there, and I had not even met her. So I moved to New York City, and I didn't like New York City much, but I did it because, she asked me to. And then I met her at the airport, and she said, bring your violin to India and play for me. And I was like, I don't even own a violin anymore. I was like, oh yes, Shri Mataji, yes. And then we went home, and the first day that she came to the meditation center, a package arrived from my parents. And they heard that my hand was better, and they bought me a professional level violin again, because they'd done nothing but encourage this violin playing. And so I had a violin, and she said, see, I told you, bring your violin to India. And this is a long story, I'm sorry, I'll finish it. But when I got to India, she did this thing where she liked the Westerners to play, she liked to show us off. Just look, see, these Westerners can play your bhajans, they can play the Indian music, it's so nice. So she would bring us to these villages where like 2,000 people would come. They'd sit on a hillside to get their realization. It was just amazing. And she started doing this thing where she had me sit next to her, and I was very shy of her. I didn't feel worthy. I was like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be anywhere near Shri Mataji. And she would have her tea and her snacks, and she would chat to me, right? She'd just chat. And like I was like, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm chatting with Shri Mataji. What am I going to say? And I was like really nervous for a while. And then eventually, by the end of a month of doing this almost every day, I was at ease. And she had a mic, and there weren't enough mics, so she would adjust the mic stand for me. She would do it. She would adjust the mic stand and put the mic down from what she talked through, and then when we did the music, she'd adjust the mic and put it so that I could play. And so there was one, I'll just tell you this, my best moment of my life was we were in a village. It was night. They had put these flowers, like these white flowers, all over the stage. Like it was almost like intoxicating. It was like a drug almost. It was so beautiful. We were all there. 2,000 people were sitting on a mountain. They'd gotten their realization. And then Shri Mataji asked us to play. And we were playing. And all the children, the little children, maybe between 5 and 10, they came down, a couple hundred of them at least, and they were dancing in front of the stage, in front of Shri Mataji. And Shri Mataji leaned over to me and she said, they want me to see their Kundalinis dancing. And for me, at that moment, I just felt like this is heaven on earth. This is what it's supposed to be. This is the meaning of my life, was so meaningful to me. So that's my story coming in, and then I guess it was about 8 months later that I went to India and had that experience with Shri Mataji. So I was lucky thing.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Wow, that was a beautiful, beautiful story. And it's wonderful also to see how, once you start to do Sahaj, you think like, oh, I need a violin. I don't really have a violin. And then by some sort of magic, it just shows up in a package for you. And it's amazing how in Sahaj, everything kind of works out like this then, where, the universe starts to really work in sync with you. And any short desire you have or anything you need, it always comes at like the perfect time. Igor, we'd love to hear more about also your experience with Sahaj. Would you like to share something of how Sahaj impacted your life?
Yeah, it's tremendous impact. It's even hard to describe. Right from, I'm not that long, actually. It's like maybe 13 years. So I haven't happened to meet Shri Mataji. When it was when 2011, I was still new, still beginner. But the experience was quite amazing. I was in a difficult situation also, like emotionally and everything. and I start coming to the class, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel any vibrations. I didn't feel Kundalini, nothing. But I just felt somehow it came to me that this is my place. I felt like tremendously, I felt like so relieved in those sessions. And I couldn't rationally explain what brings me there. I couldn't, at that point, I couldn't explain, I couldn't understand. I just felt, without feeling any sensations, without understanding where is the chakras and where is Kundalini, I felt absolutely nothing. But on the same hand, I felt that this is my place. I felt that this is the place I want to go. I want to go deeper. I want to learn more, and gradually things evolved like this, and helped me in many ways. Helped me physically. Helped me to get rid of some medical conditions also, and I don't know. It helped me in so many practical ways, how to handle stress situation, how to handle difficulties and difficulties of life, and to me it's absolutely no other alternative. That's been a great journey, and I hope to continue like this.
What's extremely interesting, Igor, is that, you're saying that at first, there's all that knowledge, you have chakras, Kundalini, vibrations, it's a very deep, sacred, ancient knowledge, and it seems like a lot, to take on. And even if your mind cannot really process, that knowledge, the amazing thing is, from your experience, you still knew from the inside that, you could feel and have the experience from the inside that this is it, this is what I need.
Our mind doesn't have the capacity, cannot apprehend what kind of treasure we have. If you try to grasp it, it's too big on our mind. So in many ways I had to actually, I came deeper into Sahaja Yoga from a different approach, like maybe more mental, or maybe more kind of opening myself to it, rather than feeling first, like getting the proof first vibrationally, and then will give me a fuel to continue. I came from another way. And another thing with music, actually, my experience with music. So I had nothing to do with music before Sahaja Yoga. I was not playing anything. What happened in the childhood, when I was 7, 8 years old, my parents sent me to music school back in Soviet Union to learn accordion. And I had to do this elementary music school back in my childhood. It was like 36 years before I started Sahaja Yoga, and I hated it. It was like a torture, I want to play with the kids outside and everything, and they force you to play things what they want, what this communist country wants. So once this music school finished, I was the happiest person. I put this accordion in the box, and I never took it again. And the time, as year passed, I'm talking 36 years after I finished playing accordion. Like, it's completely evaporated from my memory that I used to play or I used to have music. I never attracted to music since then. But what happened when I came to Sahaja Yoga, when I came to the big collective groups, I heard young people were at the end of meditation, they were singing bhajas, they were singing songs and everything, and it struck me so hard that I not only enjoyed this music, but I told to myself, I want to play this music. I don't want just to listen to that. You know, that's not enough for me. So I want to learn. And I don't know how I've got such a huge motivation. I ordered accordion from Ukraine online through eBay, and it came all broken, and I have to repair it on Skype. The guy helped me how to repair it. So, and I start playing accordion, I start playing bhajans, and enjoying so much this music. And then in 2016, I also only absolutely spontaneously, I was introduced to Indian flute to my teacher, to Shakti in Kanajohare in this music academy. And I try, okay, I'll try to play it. And since then, fascinated by this so much. It's been tremendous. And then, you know,
You
like
played beautifully tonight, Igor.
no. This is a
No,
long way.
absolutely. It was
Very,
so
very beautiful.
so
Long way
deep.
to go. But
Yeah.
I love it. I really love this music, and it's very inspiring, and it's very joy giving for myself. Many times, you know, many times I start practicing flute. I start practicing at home, just playing regular exercises, and then sometimes I feel my Kundalini right here, just when I start practicing this. So
Well, we know it was very pleasing to the divine because the vibrations were flowing beautifully.
thank you so much. Thank you. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's
that's
really
my
incredible
experience. I mean,
to.
it's hard to distinguish between things that somebody could say this is by accident, this is like that. We know this is not, and it's very hard because small things, like Shri Mataji used to say, like in small things you will feel. You just have to be alert. You know what's happening around you, and the transition, and the things that changing within you. So I wish, you know, still need to appreciate even more and continue with that. So that's a very joy-giving journey.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Igor. I mean, this is incredible to hear that, you know, you also, once you meditate, there's these kind of either dormant talents or new qualities that start to awaken, and you even like amaze yourself that you can play flute, Indian flute, and you know, and enjoy that music so much. And yeah, this is really special. There's one more question that's quite interesting, and I think we should get into it. Someone said, "Thank you. I feel the cool breeze every time we do any practice in the hour we have. What do we do after that? Or we just observe it?" And that's actually quite interesting because I think we all have very different stories, and that's great. Like I was kind of born in meditation. Like my parents used to meditate, and so as a kid, you know, I grew up with meditation in my house. And at some point, I think when I was 14 or 15, you know, I sat down with some friends and I thought maybe I should really give it a real try. Like, why do these people like sit down, open their hands? Like, you know, I need to try and reach that thoughtless awareness they were talking about. And that day, I don't know why, but you know, that desire really surged strongly, and I almost got angry. Like, I need to see what that meditation state is like, and I really got angry. And I think it was my desire really like manifesting and being like, okay, now I need to see what it is. So I don't know, I blocked my breathing for a while just to try and get thoughtless. I don't know why I did that. And all of a sudden it was like, you know, a bottle of champagne exploding. And I felt like completely pulled into like something very big, very immense, and just like an incredible shower of love, like pouring and pouring and pouring on me, as if I was like connected with all the matter of the whole universe. And I was just like in tears, crying, like finally realizing, okay, that's why they meditate. That's why they close their eyes and they open their hands. And I really became hooked to that, you know, this incredible experience, because I was like, my God, you can just sit down, open your hands, express your desire to feel that, and boom, you get into that state where you feel just this, you know, boundless love. So for many years, I was just seeking that state. And then when I was 22, I think Shimaji triggered something, and I met her and her family in India. And it's as if she was telling me, okay, now you have to change your behavior. It's not enough to just meditate. If you don't change yourself in your day to day, you won't evolve, you'll get stuck. And I think that question is very interesting because we do meditate to get into the best possible state. And the best possible state is what? Is when we feel that love for absolutely everyone. I know when I'm in that state because I'm going the metro in Paris and I love every single person I see. I want to hug them. I don't know what's happening, but you just love them. And you just love everyone so much. And you know, when you're in that state, amazing things can happen. So once you meditate and you feel that state, then the idea is like, okay, now I need to express and manifest all the treasures that have been kind of like growing in me. So, you know, your creativity, like Igor was saying, will start to soar. And you can play music and you can do beautiful things. And in your day, you can really watch yourself. Am I being loving or not? Am I just, you know, being my old self, the old Malik? Or am I being a new self, a new Malik that actually expresses the love I have? And first, you have to do something that almost seems unnatural because you haven't been necessarily used to express that love, you know, like we're not used to do that so much, especially in France, like people don't do that so much, you know. But once you start to like really do that and see like, okay, what are the nice things I can say, the nice things I can do, to everyone, your family, your friends at work. Like, you know, I used to do that a lot at work. I would like always buy coffee to, you know, my colleagues or drink something. And whenever I would do that, someone else would come and give me like, you know, also something to eat without me having to do it. And this is the beautiful thing, I think, when we meditate afterwards, we have to see, how do I just give love? How do I express that love in everything? And when we do that, it's like when you sit down to meditate in the evening, you feel amazing. Because instead of just accumulating tensions and negativity from, you know, your work environment or wherever you are, you actually become like a sun. And those vibrations, you know, they start expressing. And then when you sit down, your meditation is great because that muscle of love has been working the whole day. And the Kundalini is nothing but that love. So when it starts working, what happens is, again, all your little desires, all your little thoughts, they start manifesting. And to me, that was like discovering electricity. You know, it was like, oh my God. So when you express that love every day, and I literally trained myself for 6 months to do that. I was in New York studying. And for 6 months, I was using every excuse to express some love. And again, like, you know, just saying, hey, how are you? What's up with you? And really trying to understand someone, to know about them. And then doing something kind for them, inviting them to a restaurant for a drink, whatever it is, any excuse to express that. But then it was like, oh my God, now I realize that every slightest thought I have happens. And guys, it got to a point, and I think that's, again, it's beautiful because we need to really keep in mind after we meditate how to do that, how to have that attention, because it gets to a point that you wait for the miracle to happen. So you go to work and like, okay, what's going to happen today? What miracle is going to take place? You know, you go on a trip and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen on that trip? And your whole attention is alert because you know you have that magic in you now. You know you have that love. And once I was on a plane from Holland to Chicago to America, and I was sitting next to a very noisy couple. And I was thinking, okay, now that these vibrations, I know their love, I don't have to say anything. I don't have to shout. I don't have to convince anyone to change seats. What I do instead is I just send a lot of love to the heart of the steward standing there. And I just started like pouring lots of love from my Sahasrara, just putting my attention on him as if I'm covering him with love. And after 5 minutes, he comes to me out of the, I don't know, so all the passengers on the plane and says, sir, would you mind sitting by the exit door? And he changed my seat within 5 minutes without me saying anything. And I had a great flight. I was, you know, by the exit door, plenty of leg space. And again, I was shocked because I was like, oh my God, this really works. This, you know, this love is not like a feeling or a sentiment. It's an energy that actually works. And I think that's the beautiful thing when we meditate, to start to, you know, see in a day-to-day, okay, where's the magic gonna come from? And as long as we express that love, there's gonna be magic. It's like we just have to do the simple work of meditating and then expressing that love as much as we can in all the situations we have. And then it's just everything you think, it just happens. It's amazing. And you'll hear so many of the people practicing Sahaja here, they have so many stories, so many miracles. My mom, every day she calls me and she shares this kind of stories with me. Like today, she was in a hotel she needed to ask, a manager about something, and she just thought of him. The guy showed up in like 1 minute. He was there, and she could ask her questions. And that's what happens. Like this kind of beautiful, magical life starts to happen. So yeah, we meditate to get into an enlightened state, and then to express that love on a day-to-day. So those vibrations we feel, they have to be given, basically. And as we, again, do nice things, express that love, then the vibrations flow. So you think of that manager, and then my mom's love obviously goes to that guy, it flows. And then it's like by magic he comes, So that's the beauty of it. Yeah, during the day, see how we can express that love and be like, okay, now I have a Kundalini, I have to use it. So we have to play with that. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I'm sure you have lots of similar occurrences that took place like that.
For me, I would say it's a little different, Malik. I can sit down to meditate, and as we begin to get established in that state of meditation that you're speaking about, and when we become sensitive to these vibrations, for me, it was watching and seeing and learning how they guide me, how they guided my life, how they guide me by bringing an inspiration into my awareness while I'm meditating, or my attention goes somewhere and all of a sudden I feel the cool breeze on my hand and I know that's the right thing to do. Or I'm meditating and I'm wondering, is this the right thing to do, or is that? And in the meditation, that awareness that gets enlightened, that connection with the divine conscious, the collective consciousness that we become connected to, it guides us. So all of the facets and twists and turns, and life becomes such an adventure, like you're saying, and we're being guided by this divine power, which to me is another aspect of how miraculous this awakened energy within us acts. So yes, we get into meditation. Yes, we can begin to feel these vibrations, and we can also use them to guide our path, to guide ourselves. They guide us in a way, but we discover it in the meditation as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these vibrations is something so new, and then all of a sudden you live your whole life with the vibrations, and it's amazing, like you say, Tracy, how they help you like decide so easily. It's like you don't have to know what's the right thing to do in the future. It's like the vibrations just show you, and you feel cool, and this is it. That's what I need to do.
So many stories of coming to learning or being able to figure out how to go forward in any number of situations. It's a day in and a day out transformation in our lives, being guided by that which is pleasing to our spirit, because it's really also, we say it's this connection, these vibrations emanate from our spirit. So when we're in the state of meditation, then it's the guidance that's also, you could say, if we're feeling it in our hands or in our awareness, and people feel it in different ways, but that we understand what is pleasing to our spirit in the meditation, something that we have to do. And if something we're wondering about whether we should do it or not, and if it's not pleasing to the spirit, we'll know it. Like the vibrations will just go off. They'll get hot or tingly or heavy or burning, or any number of inner, or you just know it. So, a lot of the and Wendy, I think you used the term Sahaja Yogi, and we talk a lot about realized souls in Sahaja Yoga, and many of the great musicians, the ones that have stood the test of time, artists, just all kinds of saints and sages and poets and writers and architects and the list, scientists, it just goes on and on, leaders. Um, a realized soul is someone who has this enlightened awareness that comes from being connected with this divine power, like Shri Mataji was talking about Albert Einstein in the talk tonight. The nice thing about being what Wendy you said is Sahaja is it's somebody who is consciously aware of it and learns how to use it, not only for their own health and well-being, but like you were talking about, Malik, for the benevolence of others. So anyway.
I think the most important way to grow and move forward is to give other people realization, even though you're just new. Like once you feel it clearly enough on your hands, don't be shy. Give realization to people, and that will, what happens is that you become a channel for vibration. So you get cleared out, and then the person gets their realization, and you're like, wow, that feels pretty good. So it's all, it's almost selfish that you're here, you're doing something really helpful for someone else, but it's almost like, who's the other, right? Because when they feel good, you feel the joy as well. And for me, when I came into Sahaja, what I loved about it was I'd always had these really, I'm a kind of passionate person. I don't know if you've picked up on that, but I had these really strong feelings and this really strong mind. And they were always fighting, always in conflict. And when I came into balance, it was like I was at peace inside. And somehow my heart just kind of, like Malik was saying, my heart just took over. And my brain then supported my heart. So I led from my heart. And it was a beautiful change. No more conflict. And and someone would come up to me and be angry or whatever, I was just like, oh, you poor thing. Oh, you've gotten so worked up. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. And they're really actually trying to be mean, right? But what ends up happening is they just melt, and then they just come into the love. And I'm sure you have something to say as well. Our musician our house musician. I don't want to talk too much. You probably want to share.
That's you, Igor.
No, as I said, it's been tremendous, and sometimes you, like I said, we try not to miss those realization events, and sometimes it's incredible. You raise someone's Kundalini, or you give them realization. It happened to me. I don't feel that much, but they saying it's like my Kundalini is moving and my vibrations are flowing, and new people. And you feel like, these people, many times they feel right from the beginning, but they, unfortunately, after realization, such incredible experiences we had with people. And, unfortunately, many times they don't seem to realize what it is, how much it's worth it. And we wish that the more people will stay, but it's decided somewhere else. It's not our decision, but overall it's great. I mean, it's given me what you explained, what every one of you shared. It's given me tremendous, again, a new perspective and some tremendous motivation, and to go deeper and to explore, because it's a never-ending journey. It's full of...
And like Sudeep and Michelle were sharing yesterday, we have to be patient with ourselves. I mean, they said it over and over and over. Yes, like Wendy said, we can step out of our comfort zone, maybe try to share it with somebody, like Malik was sharing, wanting to express that love, and at the same time, if we're not sure, we haven't really felt it yet, or well, like you said, Wendy, when you start sharing it with others, you begin to feel it more strongly. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So that's what this young man who was learning, so I had been practicing for quite a few years, and he got that to that point, Malik, like you. He was like, I really want to grow. I'm not growing. And what do I have to do? And I said, start looking after the benevolence of others, just like you said. And as soon as you do that, then you see yourself growing in all kinds of ways. But once again, like Sudeep and Michelle last night, it was last night, wasn't it? That they kept saying over and over, let's be patient with ourselves and give ourselves the time that we need to get established in this yoga, this practice. It's not really a practice, it's a state of being. But give ourselves time to develop this state of being and develop the confidence that will help us to be a good instrument for sharing it with others.
Thank you so much for all this sharing, wonderful experiences.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. It was great to hear these testimonies. I think this is very special because that's when, I think all of us can understand, okay, that's why we meditate. Okay, that's how, that's what happens then in your life. And it's wonderful to, hear the different stories because everybody, comes from such different, different lives, different like childhoods, everything, and we can all connect together. And that's the beautiful thing also, that we all come from different countries, different places, and we can understand each other. There's love, there's tolerance, and that's the other beautiful thing that Shri Mataji created. It's like this incredible family where you have people from all walks of life, religions, everything. And because of that state and that love, we can all, enjoy together so much. And again, tonight has been wonderful. So thank you again for everyone and the wonderful team that you don't see that's working so hard, and Linda and everyone. So thank you guys so much.
We can all raise ourselves up and put ourselves in bandhan, Malik.
Okay, sure. All right, so we'll wait for you all to join us tomorrow for day 8. So again, cooling down the right side, channel with ice. So that's going to be quite something quite effective that you might be using a lot after in your life. So thank you again, guys, for staying with us all this time. There's still like a lot of people connected. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being there. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, Wendy.
So much, and
Thank you, Malik.
thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Beautiful session.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.